Hey guys, welcome back to the part 7 of this game tutorial series where we are making this platform a game. And in the previous video, we made a basic currency system, and in this video, we are going to design a level 2. And also, we are going to make a moving platform and an obstacle for our game. So it is going to be really fun. And before we jump in the tutorial, let me tell you, you can download this project from my Patreon, where you can access all the assets and UI I used for this game along with the whole project. The link is in the description. Alright, so now it's the time to create level 2. So we can just go here and create a new level just like we did before. But we already have a lot of things set up in this level already, and we don't want to do this again and again for every new level we create. So just go to your maps folder, and here let's duplicate this level. So right click and click duplicate, and make sure to name it appropriately. In my case it's level 2. And now let's open this level. Here you can see it's same as level 1. And we are going to make changes in this level in order to make new paths and design. Now I'm just gonna fast forward the video while keep explaining you what I'm doing here while designing the level. So first of all, I removed this bridge from here because I wanna place something difficult for the player to pass through. So I took this plank and placed this vertically so the player has to pass through this in order to reach the next walkway. And then I deleted these platforms because I wanna do something new with this level. By the way, you don't have to copy me. You can create your own design and use your own mind to make the level because I'm just demonstrating here. Now here I wanna introduce something new in this level, so I'm gonna use these as the platforms on which you can jump on and move forward. Now you can always keep playing and testing while you design the level to ensure if the level is even playable or some platforms are even reachable as they seems, and keep improving their placements after every test. And now let's see how the design goes till now. So here we cross through this wooden plank, and then we have these obstacle platforms. It's a little harder to jump on them, but we have to keep making levels harder as we move on. And now I'm gonna use this wooden plank to make the further path a little harder. So I'm just going to place them one after another with some little gap in between so that there will be always a risk for the player to fall off. So now let's play and test this level to see how it goes till now. Here we need to be a little precise with our jump. It's not too hard, but still. Now this is something we added new in this level, and here we also need to keep our jump pretty precise, otherwise we can fall off. So seems like the design is quite fine till now. And now here after this, we are going to add a moving platform that will carry us from here all the way to somewhere there. So before that, let me clear some stuff here and place the platform where we wanna reach. Now here I'm going to keep some distance between this downgoing bridge and the walkway, so the player has to jump from that gap, and this will make the level even more interesting. Now it's time to place this finish line after that walkway, but since all the objects here are all separate, so let's just group them together first. So now it's way easier to carry this whole finish line to wherever you wanna place it. So now the pathways are almost completed for this level, and here we just need to create a moving platform. So go to your content browser, and here let's create a new folder and call this moving platforms. Now inside this, let's right click and create a blueprint class of actor type. I'm gonna name this moving platform underscore BP. Now open this up, and the first thing we are going to do is we are going to add a static mesh component. So this mesh is going to be a moving platform. Now if we come over here where we have placed all of our assets, and right here this is going to be a moving platform. So let's right click and browse to the asset. So this is where it is in our content browser, and while we have selected this, and if we click on this icon here, it will just pick up that mesh automatically. Now I'm gonna scale it a bit. And then let's go to event graph, and here we are going to write the functionality to make this platform move. So right click and add a custom event. Let's name this move platform. Now let's search for set timer by event. I'll tell you what we are going to do with this timer, but before that, from this event, add a delegate. That's also just a custom event that is being called by this timer, and let's name this start moving. Now here set the timer to 0.005 and check this boolean for looping. Now what this timer will do is, it will keep calling this event again and again for every 0.05 seconds in a loop. Now how are we going to move our platform by this? I'll explain to you that, but first get the static mesh and set its relative location. Now this node will help you move your static mesh to a location you provided. So what we are going to do is, we are going to move it in steps. Let's say first we move this little, then little more, then little more, then little more, and so on. So every time we call this delegate, we are going to move each step. You keep calling this, we keep moving forward. And it will happen so fast that it will look like the platform is moving continuously. I really hope so you are understanding what I'm trying to say here. Now let's go to event graph, and to do that we are going to use lerp vector. So using lerp we can go from A point to the B point, and the A point is going to be our start location and B is going to be the end location, the location where we want to reach. So first promote this A parameter to a variable and let's call this start location, and also to the B parameter promote this to a variable and call this end location. Now what is this alpha for? So the alpha value is normalized between 0 to 1, and when it's 0 it is going to give us this A point as a return value, and when it's 1 it is going to return us the B value. So we can do interpolation between A and B, like if the alpha value is 0.5, it's gonna give us the value just between them. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm going to promote this to variable, call this alpha, and now let's place this platform into a level so I can demonstrate you how it works. So here let's open up your content browser and place that moving platform here. Now I wanna give it the same height as the walkway, so copy the Z location of the walkway and paste the same value for the moving platform. So now they are at the same level, and then make sure you place it properly. Now I wanna move this platform from here to over that bridge. So for that we have the start and end location. Now we need to set the start location before we even start to move our platform. So we are going to set its value here. Now where is going to be its start location? So it is going to be its current relative location, which is 0, 0, 0. So we can just get the static mesh and get its relative location and plug it in the start location. So we got the start location, but what about the end location? Now to get the end location, we are going to pick that value from the world. So how you gonna do it is, in variables, you see this little option here, click on this and this will turn on this instant editable option. Then you have to enable this expose on spawn, and then last but not the least, show 3D widget. Now what this gonna do is, if you select your moving platform and in the details, here you can see you can change this end location variable value from the editor. And if you see here carefully, now you have this 3D widget which you can move around, and wherever you will place this 3D widget, that is going to be your end location. It means your platform will move to there. So let's place this near this bridge because this is where we want our platform to move. Now let me show you that this works. So we are going to call this event on event begin play. So now when this event will be called, it is going to execute this code. And here if you look at the alpha value, it's 0.5. So our platform is going to get placed exactly between these 2 points. And here just to demonstrate you that, here I'm going to simulate the game. And here you can see it is exactly between the starting and the ending point. This is start location, this is end location, and this is at the alpha value of 0.5. And in this similar way, if I set this alpha value to 0, then the platform is going to be at the starting point, as you can see. And the same way, if I put the alpha value to 1, then the platform is going to be at the end point. Now I really hope you understood this how it works. So what we are going to do now is, we are going to keep adding the alpha value every time we call this start moving delegate. So the platform will move from A point to the B point. So we are going to set the alpha value each time we are going to move the platform. So get this alpha variable, make sure its default value is 0, and then get a add operator, and the value that we will add in this is going to control the speed of our platform. So right click and promote this to a variable, you can call this speed. Now let's set the default speed value to 0.002. You can always experiment with this value. Now let's see how it works till now. As you can see, the platform has started moving, but it went beyond the end location because we haven't set any limit to it yet. So here we need to set a condition for it to stop and also to loop. So let's check if the alpha value is greater or equals to 1. Then get a branch here, connect the condition, and if it is true, then we are going to reverse the speed so that the platform will loop back. And to reverse it back, we are just going to get its default value and set it to be negative. And because we are using add operator here, this will also work as a subtraction. So after the platform will move back, we want to keep looping it. So get a sequence here, and while we check this condition, at the same time we're gonna check one more condition, and any one of these conditions has to be true to make the platform keep looping. So the condition here is going to be if the alpha is less than or equals to 0. And if that is true, then we are going to set the speed to again what its default value is, that is 0.002. So now the alpha value will keep revolving from 0 to 1 and 1 to 0. So now let's simulate and see if this works. And there you can see the platform keeps moving and it's looping around. Let's just move this bridge a little bit downward. So now let's play and see how that platform works. There it is. Let's jump on it. And as you can see, it's carrying us to the another bridge. So it's working fine. Now let's come over here. As you know, we are using this wood as obstacle platform, but we can also use this wood which is a little bit rounded, so this will increase the difficulty. So while you have selected it in the content browser, right click on this and from here you can replace it with that. There you go. Now we can do the same with other woods. So now let's play and test. Let's jump. But if you move your camera a bit down, you'll see this would have the collision problem. So you already know how to fix that. So just open up this asset. Let's add a collision. And here you can see its collision doesn't look really good. And even if we try to add a custom collision, it is really difficult to cover up this asset since it's a quite difficult shape. So what we can do is, in the collision, select this auto convex collision. Let's go with the default value and click apply. As you can see, the collision shape is quite matching with the asset and we didn't have to add collision shapes manually. So now let's test with this collision. Here we jump, and this time as you can see the collision is quite accurate. And if we try to move to the corner, there you can see we slipped out. So now you know how to deal with the complex collisions. Alright, so now it's time to add another obstacle in our level. So open up your content browser and go to your obstacle folder. Now here let's quickly duplicate this obstacle, which is our rotating obstacle, because we are going to make a similar one. Now let's open this up. Now we just need to go to the viewport, and here we are going to change our obstacle mesh because we are going to use this windmill. It's too big. Let me scale it down a bit. Now we need to align this interactive box with its wing properly. After this, we are going to duplicate this interactive box for the another wing. Let's name this interactive box 2 and copy all the transform properties from first box to the second one. And then just align it for the second wing. Now we have to add an event begin overlap for the box 2, and we already have the code for the hit impact in the base class. So just copy it from there and paste it for this interactive box 2. There you go. Now this mesh is going to rotate like this because we copied it from our previous rotating obstacle. Instead, we want to rotate it like this, and it's rotating in the y-axis. So in your rotating moment component, in the rotation rate, set the z value to 0 and let's give it some value on the y-axis. Let's say 75. Now in the event graph, here we need to plug this speed variable into the y parameter. So we can control speed on the y-axis, and also let's set the default value to 75. So now let's place this into the level somewhere like this. You can also control its speed from the details panel, And now I'm going to duplicate this and place it somewhere near the finish line. Alright, so we are done placing the obstacle and now we can play and test this. So now let's try to get hit by this windmill, and as you can see, it pushed me off. And now let's just place these sideways buildings properly and just complete the level. So now we are finally done with designing the level 2, and now it's time to place these coins in the level. So you can place them wherever it makes most sense to you according to your level design. You know, that risk and reward system. Yeah, we are still going with that. So now we are also done with placing the coins across the level. And now one final thing we need to do is open your level blueprint and here set the timer for this level. And I think 2 minutes are more than enough to complete this level. So now let's finally play and test this. There you go. It actually took me 3 tries to complete this level. I actually cut off that part, but yeah, it's fairly difficult. And now we have to make these buttons functional too, but we'll see about that later. First I need to fix some issues with this level. The first issue was that this coin platform was quite above the height, so let's keep it at the same level. And the second issue was this end location was quite touching this bridge, so let's fix that too. Now let me show you this last issue. Here if we come to collect this coin, the player can also jump into these outside buildings, so they kind of break the game. So a simple fix to that would be to disable the collisions of these buildings. So you can browse to asset and they'll show up in the content browser. From there you can open them up. And in the details, if you scroll down, in the collision section, here you can set the collision preset to no collision. And you can do the same thing with all the platform and buildings on which you don't want any collisions. Alright, so I've done the same thing in all the buildings and platform on those I don't want the collisions. So now let's play and test this. So let's jump and collect the coin. And let's try to jump on the buildings. And as you can see, there was no collision, so we just directly fell off. So that is it for this part of our game tutorial series, and in the next part we are going to design level 3 and some more platforms. So if you like this video, you can support me on Patreon, where you can access this game project file and all the assets I've used for this game. The link is in the description, and you can also join our Discord server where you can interact with other developers of this community. And if this video helped you out, and make sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I want to thank Patreon members of this month. Thank you so much for your support, it means a lot. Till then, see you, bye bye.